and welcome to Fin Business. What an exciting opportunity here at the Singapore Fintech Festival, and we are meeting the global leaders in the area of fintech, in the area of accelerators, from the governments, and we have had some fantastic sessions here. And now we are talking to Mr. Patrik Wermelinger, who is heading the investment promotion at Switzerland Global Enterprise. Welcome to Fin Business, Patrik.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you. So, Patrik, we have been discussing a whole lot about what kind of opportunities that are there in Switzerland for the fintechs and for the growth of the fintech and the banking ecosystem. So, and you have been meeting a whole lot of fintechs in the last few days. You have brought in a team of fintechs from Switzerland. What kind of promise does Switzerland hold for the global fintech companies to come and flourish through Switzerland?
Switzerland is on its way to become one of the leading fintech hubs worldwide. And why is this happening? Because Switzerland has a very long tradition in being one of the top 10 globally leading financial centers. This long tradition, combined with the go-getting attitude of the Swiss government in enabling frameworks and regulations to flourish, to grow and to scale up for fintech companies, I think these two combinations make Switzerland really top and unique in the world.
Fantastic. So, what kind of ecosystem have you created? What are the various associations or fintech bodies which are actually empowering the fintechs to go to the next level in Switzerland?
We see a very fast-growing ecosystem in Switzerland. It started a couple of years ago only, and since then we see 700 to 1,000 startups, be it Swiss startups or also foreign startups coming into Switzerland, because what they like is they find the right talents in Switzerland. It's a combination of lawyers, talents, leading universities, big players, financial services suppliers, and this is an ecosystem which makes Switzerland moving in the right way in the fintech industry.
So, if you definitely know that world over Singapore is a fintech hub, or probably a lot of fintechs are springing out of China, out of Israel, out of India, and many other countries in the world.
Yeah.
So, how are you trying to attract these talents or these fintechs to either set up their base or operate from the hub of Switzerland? What is it that you are offering to these kind of fintechs?
I think Switzerland is the right place for fintech companies addressing the European market. It all starts at the end by setting up a presence in Switzerland to address this market. And we are offering, first of all, consulting. So fintechs can approach us in 22 countries globally to ask at the Swiss business hubs, which are located at the Swiss embassies, how should you do that? Who is my partner on that way into Switzerland? And we have teams all over the world who can address and answer all those questions.
Fantastic. So I also read in your brochures about the 100 million fund, Swiss franc fund, that is, or probably the access of funding that is available for the fintechs. So can you give me a little bit more insights into it?
Okay. So we are currently building up, or an organization is building up a fund which then is dedicated to startups in as well the fintech industry. That's happening for many months now, and it will become active in 2019. But we are also on the regulatory side having introduced 2 years ago a sandbox solution which is open for everyone, which allows you up to 1 million Swiss francs to test your business model in our country and then to scale it up once it's ready. Or the fintech license, which will be introduced 1st of January 2019, which will be kind of a banking license light. So a very easygoing, straightforward process with the Swiss regulator where you can apply for and start acting in the fintech environment in a fully regulated environment. So this is valid up to 100 million Swiss francs. And if the project and the business case is very interesting, there's also a possibility to be above that number I just mentioned.
Fantastic. So you are already creating an ecosystem, you are bringing out some funds for supporting the fintechs. How are the banks and the financial ecosystems supporting you in taking this revolution to the next level then?
Okay, of course the Swiss banks are heavily interested in seeing what's going on and also in partnering up with the top solutions which are coming from the fintech industry. On the other hand side, we have various associations which introduce new arrivals into the Swiss ecosystem very quickly and pragmatically. So this is a straightforward support they get there. We're having the Crypto Value Association here with us in Singapore with their members, but we're also having Swiss Fintech associations like the SFTA or the Swiss Fintech Startups Association. So various occasions where you can connect quickly with the Swiss ecosystem.
So on one hand, you have the Crypto Valley Association, you have the Swiss Fintech Startup Association, and the Swiss Finance and Technology Association. These are the three organizations which you said are the key organizations in bringing together the role of the fintech.
Exactly. Those are the three organizations in German-speaking Switzerland. You're knowing that we have various languages in our country. We have a lot of organizations also in French-speaking Switzerland and in the southern part, in the Italian part of our country.
Correct. So, globally, how are you trying to attract the talent into Switzerland, especially from the fintech perspective? Is there any hackathon or any kind of drive or programs where you are driving people to share their innovations with you, or probably take it to the next level?
Yeah, that's correct. So there's a lot of series of events going on in the blockchain industry, but also in the fintech space. We have hackathons in Switzerland as well, and those organizations promote this internationally. We have a program from Digital Switzerland, which is a private organization which drives and stimulates digitalization of all Switzerland, and they have Kickstart accelerator programs where companies can come, stay, pitch into the Swiss ecosystem, and hopefully stay forever. So this is the 3 months program which is set up every year. You can also go on Kickstart Accelerator website and to register directly. So there's a variety of initiatives going on to make that start in Switzerland very easy.
What kind of facilities can be provided to such companies to set up a base so that they get a helping hand to enter into the market, either through funds or through other services from your organization?
I mean, the perception of being expensive, I'm not hearing that the first time, of course, but you need to really compare what you get for the price you pay. I think it's the first reflection I would suggest. Afterwards, of course, there are free working spaces in some areas, so to just enable that start entry point to see, does it work, is it a market for me, or okay, can that work out? There are, depending on where you go in Switzerland, different other solutions, which then, as you know, our country is like the blockchain industry, very decentralized, organized, and high autonomy to our cantons in our country. So each of those cantons have their own approach how to welcome fintech companies. But there are solutions around to enable that smooth and straightforward start.
And how is the funding availability in case if startups wants to access some funds in the country?
It's a very fast growing industry, so getting access to capital, be it venture or institutional money, is growing. So again, the fund I mentioned in the beginning is one tool which is set in place, but then we have a growing venture capitalist investment scene by every year plus 50%. It's up to 1 billion right now in all kind of startups, not only fintech startups. So yes, access to money, that's something which we can offer with our ecosystem, of course, not us as an organization.
And how many fintechs typically are thriving in the country of Switzerland right now? And by what percentage is it growing in the near?
We see a very, very heavy growth in the blockchain industry. So since 2014, 500 plus companies came in or did create themselves in Switzerland. So we see a big demand. And from the project, we have access to, or we can identify and send a portion of 30% of all industries are in the fintech space. So it's really, in many countries, the topic, and Switzerland has a strong say in this industry.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Patrik, for this information. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.